Welcome to the Downtown Perspective. I'm your host, Adrienne Nesbitt. Join us every week as we explore topics surrounding and involving the Downtown Goshen community. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Today's guest is Brad Alstrom. Brad is the manager at the Maple City Market. Thanks for talking with me today, Brad.
Thank you for having me, Adrienne. My pleasure.
So you're the manager at the Maple City Market, which is a food co-op in downtown Goshen. Can you tell me about the difference between a co-op and a regular grocery store?
Sure. Right. We are a cooperatively owned grocery store or a co-op grocer. And the main difference really is that we are owned by the community rather than owned as a private business or maybe as an investor-owned business. We are owned by about 3,000 members of the community. And in order to be an owner, we call owners members. It's a purchase of a one-time $100 share in the co-op. And members can purchase that as on a subscription, like $20 per year for 5 years until it's paid off. And as an owner member, you have access to some member benefits, including voting for our board of directors. So it's a democratically controlled business. And that's really the key difference, I think, is that there is that element of democracy in how we're run, and that ultimately we're accountable to our member owners.
You've spoken a little bit about your role and that you are sort of the go-between between the board oversees you and then you oversee the store. What are some of the biggest joys in your job being the general manager of a place like the co-op?
I think building an organization that people consider to be a good employer is really satisfying. I think to see staff that are thriving in their jobs and feel like they're making a difference is great. I get a lot of satisfaction out of that.
I'm going to shift gears just a little bit in this time right now of the coronavirus. Mm-hmm. Your business is considered an essential business, and you have remained open throughout the entirety of the quarantine and other things that are happening both locally and nationally. Can you tell me a little bit about what you have done during this time to protect your employees, but also to protect community members who've continued shopping at the co-op?
Sure. That's been one of the big challenges. We've had a lot of changes and challenges in many parts of our operations with this. And, in certain ways, I think we're really lucky that we got to stay open, because I know there's a lot of local small businesses that did not. And that we have had a continuity of cash flow in that process. But it really changed our sales patterns. That provided a lot of challenges. Our supply chain really changed. It's created a lot of economic uncertainty. It's created some short-term opportunity, but also I think a lot of long-term risk. And we've had to figure out, how do we work with this new environment? And right away after this hit nationwide, food co-ops were really talking to each other about how are we going to respond. And I think it's great to see that generally food co-ops were some of the first responders. It took some of the other larger grocery chains longer to institute some of the measures that we had already instituted. And so the first thing was like, how do we social distance in a store? So we put up plexiglass at the cash registers. Those actually are available now on the market, for less than what we paid to have them custom built. But, you see a lot of stores in town have those up now, which I think is great. It makes the cashier's job much safer. We're now wearing masks. I know that was not something at the outset, and I think a lot of us on staff were resistant to wanting to wear masks, because I can tell you it is not fun to wear masks. But we do on the customer floor and anytime we are in a shared space in the back of the store. we have a lot of signs up asking our customers to follow these rules as well. And that's where it gets a little bit dicey and tricky, because everybody has a different interpretation of what those rules mean and what it means to social distance. But really the key things right now are the social distancing. So we do have a sign that we put out. If we have more than about 8 customers in the store, we flip that sign over and stick it in front of the front door. And we really ask customers to pay attention to that. It says to not come in until another customer exits. And that way it helps us to maintain a reasonable number of people in the store. We also ask customers to really only bring one person to shop. I know there's times that that's not feasible, but in general, we really want our customers to just come on their own. And I think generally customers have sort of self-regulated about when they're shopping, because nobody really wants to be in a crowded store right now. So we are generally seeing our sales spread out throughout the day. The one exception is on Saturdays, which was always our busiest time from about 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It gets too busy in the store, and that's hard to manage. So right now, the conversation amongst our staff is whether we want to require customers to wear masks. And I think that's a real conversation and a real, how do we manage that if we do that? We are asking our customers to wear staff. We really, really want our customers to wear masks. We're offering an additional pay incentive. We started at $1.50 per hour, and we bumped that up to $3 per hour at this point temporarily, because it's, there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress on the job, even though I think we've had our staff stay on. We haven't had like a mass exodus of our staff members not wanting to work, but it's a different environment. And I think nobody wants to be here any more than they have to be. So we're running really efficiently. I'm really thankful that we had a great staff roster coming into this. I think we were well prepared to kind of take on this challenge.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you've had to adjust because of effects on the supply chain?
Yeah. And I think that's an interesting story. The big one that everybody talked about at first, and it's still in short supply, is toilet paper. We were out for quite a long time, but we've now found that we're able to buy it from our paper goods supplier, the same company that supplies our paper bags, which, by the way, there's also a shortage of. So we're now asking customers to use boxes instead. But, so we're getting like a commercial brand of toilet paper instead of what would normally be a consumer brand. But it's perfectly good quality and has a UPC on it, so we can sell it. Flour and yeast are finally kind of back in supply more, but we had bulk flour pretty much all along. And so that was where some other stores were out. Hey, we can sell it in 50-pound bags, or, you can scoop your own, or we're pre-packing bags as well. And that's been another precaution that we took, was we eliminated most of our scoop bins in our bulk department. And that's still, we're not quite sure where we're going to go with that right now, but we have a lot of things in pre-pack instead. But the most recent shortage that is being talked about a lot is in meat. And I think the story there is really that most of our meat department, in our fresh and our frozen, is locally or regionally sourced. We do offer some national brands as well. Applegate is the biggest national brand, and that's what we've been out of consistently. But our big local brands and regional brands, and those are Yoder's from Shipshewana, Miller's Poultry, Jake's Country Meats, which is one of our pork providers from Cass County, Michigan, and Fisher Farms, which provides us beef and pork from southern Indiana. They have had consistent supply all the way through, and we've had no problems getting product through there, except with Miller Poultry. Right at the beginning, there was, kind of they had to shift their operations, and there was during that kind of panic buying phase.
Yeah.
Since then, we have had a good supply, and thanks to our supply chain being much closer to home.
Well, Brad, can you tell me what your store hours are currently for those who'd like to come shop?
We're ready to increase those hours. We pulled back a little bit. We pulled back just a half an hour at the front and the end of the day. But currently, we're open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday. And on those days, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., we're offering that as what we call priority shopping for seniors or for anybody that feels their health is compromised and they want to just a little bit less crowd in the store. We do get some shoppers coming in during that time, but it tends to be less. I would also suggest anybody is looking for shopping while there's less people in the store that the 6 to 8 p.m. is a great time as well. On Sundays, we're open 11 to 7, but we're getting ready to expand our Sunday hours to start opening at 10 a.m. and closing at 8 p.m. And we'll put out an announcement. And we're also going to push out our open hours till 9 p.m. as well.
So when will the extended hours be taking effect at the market?
The extended hours will start on Wednesday, May 20th.
Okay, perfect. And then can people who aren't a member of the co-op shop at Maple City Market? And also, how do you become a member?
Sure. Yes. And our model is that anybody can shop. We do offer some additional benefits to members. The big benefit that we've offered in the past has been a once a month member appreciation day. And we're changing that. And again, starting next week on May 20th, we're going to offer a 2-week period when our members can come in and use a member discount. So we're going to be doing that once a quarter. So instead of once a month. And that's sort of the big financial benefit of membership. Like I said, members get to vote in our board of directors as well. But to become a member, you can do that at the cash register, or you can go online, and we have a membership form online you can fill out, and we'll process that initial payment for you. We're also offering curbside pickup right now, and you can fill that out online. We don't have our inventory uploaded so that you can see everything that we have, but you can create your own grocery list, and we'll do the shopping for you.
That's wonderful. Finally, I was curious, Brad, what your favorite grab-and-go item is. Maple City Market's one of my favorite places to stop for lunch. I know you're not doing the soup right now because of very serious concerns about a germ spreading, but I do know that you've continued to have a lot of your other grab-and-go items available, and I was curious what your favorite is.
We do, and I think my current favorite, and I'm a carnivore. I manage our meat department here in the store, but my favorite is the popcorn tofu. It's really good. It's like a baked tofu with a nutritional yeast coating on it with spices and with a dipping sauce.
I will have to check that out.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me, Brad. It's been very interesting. And I'm so happy to be part of a downtown that has an organization like yours and shopping opportunities like you have. It's a great place to run and grab stuff when I need it last minute. So I am definitely a member, and I love being able to shop there. So thank you for the service you provide the community.
Awesome. I really appreciate what Downtown Goshen does as well, Downtown Goshen Inc. So thank you.